main problem I have is right there, right here. So again, we're back on the Peugeot 206, and my phone decided not to record the first part of the deinstall. So when I was taking the DPF out to do the oil line, it didn't record that. So basically it's clamp here and two bolts, one down here and one on the other side, and they clamp onto here, bolt onto either side of the DPF. Now after I got the DPF out, I noticed there was an oil leak from the oil cooler, which is, trying to get you in, right there in the middle of the screen. Right there, right here. It's leaking out the bottom. So I'm going to have to disconnect that, take it out. But before I do that, I'm going to have to take these intake light off again to get into the oil filter housing, which is in there. And Sump is out. They're all 8mm bolts. I'll show you that from the bottom. DPF is out, heat shields are out. But the main problem we have is, do I get you in? Banjo bolt is at the snapping, and right there, the banjo bolts are the snapping in, and I need to get an extractor to get that out. You can see where all the oil was leaking out, and it was leaking down onto the exhaust. So I'll just show you from the bottom, if we can get in. You can see, I'll zoom out. So you can see all the oil that's sitting on the bottom. It's leaking from the cooler up above. So I'm going to get that cooler out, clean all of this up and go from there. I know I have you sideways. You can see the sump is out. Now some pickup, new sump pickup is in. Just got to clean that down and reinstall the sump afterwards. It's hard to say, the car is on the ground, so I haven't really got much room to show you, but when I'm doing the reinstall I can get a better look. Now that filter wasn't that full, so maybe the car was more well maintained than the first thought. But the biggest issue now is getting that broken turbo oil feed banjo bolt out. So I'll get set up there and I'll get this extractor tool and I'll have a look. So I bought one of these extractor tools to try and get that broken bolt out. You just tap it into the hole and it's a reverse thread and it should pull it out. It wasn't that tight when it snapped. I think it was just a cheap bolt because I'd only started to torque it down and it just sheared off. So I'm going to go back to using the original one. But we'll see how this goes. Some of my UV clips. I think that's out. Yeah. So that'll tell you how bad that was, that it wasn't even tight when I sheared off. Here we go. Just try and get it to focus. There you go. Oh, now. And I'll show you that tool kit after. But I'm going to get that banjo bolt connected. So I'm going to use the old bolt. So basically it's a copper washer on the top, then your connection, and then a copper washer on the bottom. But I can show you that on the turbo. Now, the nut on these is a H10 Allen. Now I don't think I can get in here and record at the same time. No, I'm going to have to just move it out of the way and then I'll show you when it's in. I can't get in, the camera's in the way. There you go, you can see it now. That's the new banjo bolt in, and you can see the washer either side of the connection. Same on the turbo. Don't go crazy with them because they'll just snap, but I think that new one that I ordered was a cheap one and no use. So that's the new one in, that's one headache out of the way. The next thing is now to work on getting this oil cooler out. So I'm going to remove the intakes out of the way, give me more access, and then I'll come back to you. So just going to get this intake pipe off to give me more access into where the cooler is down below. So these are 10s. This one's loose already. 10s, yeah, both loose. I have to do something about this intake pipe because it literally just falls out of the airbox. Another dreadful design by Peugeot. Now, I think these nuts on the oil cooler are an 8mm. Checked online, I think they're 8, and I think there's 4 in total. So I'm just going to have a quick check. Yeah, 8mm. Oh, try to get this out without blocking the camera too much. Actually, I need to disconnect the oil return pipe from the cooler. From the turbo, I mean. I think these are 7s. Now, that's off. Yeah. Gonna move the oil pan underneath because I'm probably gonna get a bit of oil out of this. So number 1 is there. On it out. Oh, last one, I hope. Now, yeah, here we go. The oil catch can underneath. There we go. Now, you can actually see where it was leaking down the bottom. You can actually see where it was leaking down the bottom, and the gasket has given up. Right there, you can see all the oil around it. Here, see all the oil around it that was dropping down onto the exhaust. So that's the bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the coolant part. That splits in two. Splits in two parts. That comes apart there. I've started it already. You can see it there. That part comes apart. That's for the coolant. Another set of washers for that, so I'm going to get them ordered up. When I have this out, I'm going to strip out the air filter. The two main causes of oil leaks, or well-known issues of oil leaks, you can actually see it on the lower part there, is the bottom of the cooler, and down there the bottom of the dipstick. You can actually see that that's leaking, so I need to change the O-ring on that as well. They're two of the main, what would you call them, faults that lead to oil leaks in this engine. So I'm going to get the let me just zoom out. I'm going to get the gaskets ordered up for this, that side, and the oil filter side. I'm going to change the oil filter, and in the car ready to go I have the air filter, oil filter, and new drain plug and gasket. So I'm going to get that stuff ordered up, and then I'll get back and I'll be putting back in the sump, putting back into DPF. And as you can see there, all the bolts that I had to take out to get in all this stuff. So that's the state of the back of the boot. Everything just thrown in. I'll just show you these two little sets that I bought off Amazon, which are handy to have. This is the bolt extraction one. I'll put a link in the description. This is an E-Torx, which you need, because you need to be able to get that bolt here out of the oil cooler. So it sits into here in the oil cooler, so you need that to get that out. So get both of these sets. I'll put them in the description. They're only cheap. I think this one was €17. I think this one was 20 maybe. So I'll get back to you when I have all the washers and gaskets to finish off the engine bay. Get all that back in, start her up runner, bring her up to temp, top back up the coolant, because that came out when I took the oil filter out. Fireworks going off when I took the oil filter out, and the coolant parts, so I need to refill that coolant. So I'm going to tidy all this up, and I'm going to get back to you when I've ordered all the gaskets. So it's a week later since I started this whole mission, this video, and what I've been waiting on is these gaskets. It took over a week to come for the oil filter housing, filter side, cooler side. So I'm going to get them installed back on, put it all together and get it back in. Before I do that, I'm going to clean this surface and the surface of the block of the engine. Just going to use a small bit of brake cleaner. Don't want to go too mad and leave scratches on it. Just want to make sure there's nothing that's going to stick out and stop the washer from sitting on properly. So I'm looking at it there, small little. You can sort of see how they sit up. The other ones were flush, so they were squashed down and perished. So these should give a better seal. These are Torx 30. And the last one here is an E5. Now 8mm. Push this one out. Just gonna give that a quick spray down. Just two little locating tabs that slot into here and one here. Just line them up and just helps you seat down the gasket. There's also little teeth on the gasket to help it bite and stay in place when you're trying to manoeuvre it in. So they don't fall out. Right, so that's the oil cooler back on. Gonna get the DPF back on now. It's gonna give it a quick clean. Now, I think I took this out from the top. No, I didn't. Took it up from the bottom. I just have to put, don't forget to put the oil return pipe off the turbo back on. That's a 7mm Jubilee clip. Now, I'm going to try to get the DPF in, fix the bracket. Oh. Just two nuts. Making sure I'm not forgetting anything else. That's off that. Just off the DPF. I have to feed it up from the bottom. Leave them where I can get them. I hope I left enough room underneath because I didn't jack the car up. Now, it's a bit tight. I'm just going to rest that on there to take the weight, and then I can get the two bolts on. Force one's sitting on there now. Just going to put them on hand tie. I always put them on each nut on hand tie until you get both of them on. Can't even hand in there. She's tight. Now. Oh. Now, second one in. It's very hard to see this one. I'm actually probably going to have to go underneath for this. Absolute nightmare. Right, so that's the DPF back in. I just need to tighten the clamp top and bottom and reconnect the two pressure hoses and the switch. Now, how do I know which is the top and which is the bottom? I guess I'll soon find out when I turn it on. Although that one seems a bit short for that. To the bottom one out. Just bought new Jubilee clips for the DPF pressure sensor pipes because they come with them stupid little clips that you have to click off and you can never get them back on, so just replace with this. Makes your life an awful lot handier. I'm not going to go too tight on these because I'm not sure if they're even the right way around. I should have taken a picture which hose is connected to which. Two. Now, walking back, so I've got the air filter housing in, got the DPF in, both clamps on, turbo oil feed in, DPF pressure sensor pipes in. Now I have to put this turbocharger pipe back in, oil, coolant, and then start her up. The heat shields have to go in. Now, how did this one go on? That one went in like, yeah, like that. 2 bolts. Now, this, and then Now, turbocharger, heat shield in, charge pipe. Now I lost the jubilee clip off this as well, so lucky I bought that box. So I'll just slide this on first, and then I'll get a jubilee clip for that. Oh, don't tell me none of these fit. Can't believe it. All too small. I have to see if I can find that one now. Yes. There it was. In the oil drain pan. Beautiful. Now, maneuver this back on. So, $7 on it. Now, air filter. Jaws. Throw the air filter out. Lovely fresh air filter in. Just going to put a little bit of coolant and water in just to get it started. So, coolant. This isn't the right spec coolant, but it'll do for now. As I said, I'm going to drain it and refill the whole system. And oil, 3.8 litres of oil. It's going to put 3.5 in, let it circulate, and then I'll top it up. 5W30 C2 C3. That's what you need. So that's 3.5. I'll go a little bit more for luck. Nope. Now, the chances are this isn't going to start because I'd say the battery is probably dead. So I'm just going to get the booster pack. Going to clear everything off the bonnet. Now, I am expecting some sort of engine light. Once the engine doesn't blow up, I'll be happy. Didn't start. Absolutely nothing out of the battery. I'm going to press the boost button. Put that out. Go. First time start. No engine lights. That's just low fuel and handbrake. So just go down and check that there's no oil leaking. Just put this bit of cardboard underneath. So far so good. Stop it cold. Airbox is so rattly. Let's give it a couple of revs. Something rattling. It's like a clip or something is off. Not sure you can pick that up. It's coming back to oil and all. Lovely. So I'll just let that heat up, come up to temp, and we'll see how we're getting on. So she's just coming up to temperature now, of no oil leaks, no coolant leaks, and considering the amount of work that's gone into this engine, I'm very surprised I don't have any oil leaks. Well, not yet. I still need to bring it on a test drive, put it under proper load to see if that turbo oil feed pipe and the likes of that is leaking, but so far so good. There's a few other jobs I need to do. Both rear mirrors, passenger side and driver side, go down but they won't come back up, so I have 2 new regulators there for them. Get them installed. That involves taking all this cowl off the back seats, seat bases, everything, and I want to do a little bit of rust protection on the underneath of the car where I can see surface rust there. I'm going to clean that off. And then it's just the cosmetic stuff. That rear view mirror has to be changed. There's a little bit of oil or rust on the boot lid, and then I wanted to take care of them alloys because they're off, take the whole look off the car. But other than that, all the heavy lifting is done under the engine and she's running good for now. See how it goes when I test drive it. No codes. So if you watched this video to this far, fair play. If you can hit a like and subscribe down the bottom, every subscribe helps. There's 22 now on the channel. If you can get that to 50 over the next couple of months, I'll be happy with that. So appreciate all the comments and all the likes, and I'll see you in the next video.